Who was Charlie Kirk?
I can't help but smile when I hear his name or say it. He was the love of my life, still is. Phenomenal father. Incredible man, good friend, very loyal. He had a great dry sense of humor. He built something so incredible, and he was a bridge in our country, meaning he had the gift of communication. He could talk to the younger generations. He could talk to a donor group. He could talk to the President of the United States. He would just engage with everything. That there was no separation between his work life and his home life. And I was so proud of him, and I would tell him, baby, you don't have to rush home. When you come home, home is waiting for you. I was never the type of wife that looked at my phone and said, okay, you better be home at 5 o'clock for dinner when I have it on the table. Never. I said, home is here for you when you get home. Dinner will be ready whenever you're ready to eat. I will never make you feel guilty for pursuing what the Lord has put on your heart.
Did you know right away that Charlie was destined for something larger than life?
Charlie has a great disposition about him, so I knew that he was never going to be just, he operated, everyone knew this, the way he operated his life, he wasn't going to waste time, he wasn't going to waste the one life that the Lord has blessed him with. When you get married to someone you love, you never think, oh, I mean, at least we didn't, what our future was going to look like. It's not that you sign up for something. You just marry the love of your life, and however that unfolds, it unfolds. And we both have very similar understandings, and I knew, obviously I knew his life would be important. All of our lives are important. But all I cared about was loving him and being a wife to him, being a mother to his children. That to me was so much more important. Everything else I could care less.
Charlie was so disciplined. He had his routine.
I know.
He worked out.
He did.
He did his reading.
Yeah.
Are you now stepping into that?
Him and I are very similar from the standpoint of making yourself a better person as life goes on. We all live many lives, and we all are constantly trying, at least Charlie and I, we're constantly trying to improve ourselves. We always worked out. We had the same trainer because him and I were athletes. It always goes back to the basic and simple things. He loved eating clean. He loved all of that stuff. But something that was so powerful about Charlie is that he mastered self-control. He mastered, he would say, know your nature. He mastered that. He perfected that. From the standpoint of, yes, he was very hard on himself. I have the journals to prove it. Very hard on himself. But he held himself to such a high standard because he wanted the people that were around him to be better also. And he wasn't going to be a leader that told people what to do and not do it.
He worked so hard.
He did.
He was the hardest working person in my business I've ever seen. Was that hard for you guys to balance that work and the family?
So when we first started dating and when we were first married, we would travel everywhere together. We were on the road 350 some days out of the year. And then once we had our first child, it was an adjustment period because I wanted to be home with our little one. But he was so good about always wanting to come home. Always wanted to come home. And I wanted to make sure that he wanted to come home. Again, that's why I never said, what are you doing? Why are you gone? Why are you traveling so much? I never had those questions because I knew his heart and I knew what he was doing was so important. And he always included me in it. And there were times where I would go to his events and there were times where I wouldn't, but it was a family-oriented mission. So I never once was threatened by that because I was a part of it.
He wrote you letters. Charlie wrote you letters.
I know.
Every week?
Every Saturday. So he would turn his phone off to honor the Sabbath. He would come in, open the junk drawer. Everyone has a junk drawer. Open the junk drawer, said Shabbat Shalom, put it in there, turn the phone off, slam the door, and he felt so free because he was unreachable for 24, 48 hours.
Did you see Charlie change in the 7 years that you knew him? How did he change?
when he became a father, and you know this, when you become a parent, it changes you. When you become a husband or a wife, it changes you. I mean, being on the altar and making a covenant with the Lord and saying, this is my person, it changes you. You become one. Everything becomes one. Nothing is separated. And it was just powerful because I got to see him grow, not just in wisdom. He read a lot of books. Wisdom, but he grew in patience. And you can see that on campus too. You see the evolution of him going from holding the mic all the time to then putting it down, taking a sip of his tea, throwing in a throat coat, and just listening. You could see how he evolved into this incredible man who he mastered himself.